every family to see the value of the wholeness or the holistic approach that we can offer. But guess what is missing? Well, not yet missing. We're still in the process of talking with them. So, of course, ultimately, oh, we want to add possible executive bonus plans for their employees because they are business owners. Tax advantage plans for all three kids also in the conversation. But guess what? In here, this is our ultimate goal. Because, you know, guys, with our situation right now, I mean, the whole of US and Canada, we need more agents to share this financial campaign that we have. I usually say it's like all hands on deck. And as we could see, there are more decks than hands. So if each and every one of you could bring in someone else to become a licensed financial professional, can you just imagine how much change you could give and an impact to that family? In here, we are selling understanding versus just selling the products. Because guess what? It's not much the product, but the financial concepts and principles that are more important. If we were just there to sell them an IUL, or if we were just there to sell them the college planning, we would have ended in just one solution, correct? But because they understand the full breadth of what we teach, you know, because of the financial education that they're going through, they will buy the products that build a strong financial foundation for their family. And we are able to achieve our mission as agents to give holistic planning. There could be more solutions, which are security solutions, but I cannot talk about it. I will get there soon. Me and my husband will get there soon. But you know that we could do more if we have more licenses in our arsenal, right? So in here, I'd just like to give a shout out with our team following Coach Swan's program of being relentless. This is our report for now. Currently, we have around 8 people qualified for the GX retreat, and I think 3 or 4 getting close to become Rising Kahuna and to be able to be dining with the coaches and all the leaders during the GX retreat come November. So I would like to end with that. I'd like to thank Monica for giving us her time and sharing her story. I know you have inspired a lot of young people in here. So thank you everybody for giving us this chance to share.
All right, let's give it up. Let's give it up. Amazing training. Thank you so much. Did we learn a lot today? Yeah. It's powerful, powerful. Thank you so much for all the knowledge you gave us. The PFS is what changed my life. When they did it to me for the first time, that's when my family realized that, man, we make good money, but we are, broke, right? We're broker probably than a person making minimum wage. And because of that, we made a lot of changes in our life. So thank you so much for that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go to our second trainer. She is one of our very own trainers here in Oak Brook. She's one of the best. She's one of my favorites. She's very, very energetic, but every time she trains, man, she gives everything from her, all her knowledge, her experience. She has she has 10 years in the business, and her past experience, she used to be a physical therapist. So please, let's give it up to our very own Divine Duet. Oh.
Thank you so much, Oakwood. Thank you so much, Alex. I know it's good to be home. Hi. I know I've been traveling quite a bit, building long distance everywhere, and it's been really a wonderful, joyful experience. This evening, I am tasked to teach about, of course, the system training. Fen9 is always product solution. So Jingbi did a really good job of showing a PFS and how we change people's lives, right? You know, it's just not one thing, but multiple things that we can do for many families. But this evening, I'm gonna share from Elmo all the way. Okay, so we wanted to share you, right? You know what is happening in World System Builder right now. It could not be the best time to be part of WSB. Don't you agree? Yeah. Right. So I know I joined 10 years back. I'm a physical therapist by background. I did this part-time for 2.5 years. I joined for maybe the wrong reasons initially. You know, someone told me, you can get free travel here. Okay, I love traveling. So Stella, I sign up. Yeah, you know, okay, sign me up because they were about to go to Japan super trip when I join, right? So I joined, and then but after several years of being here, I realized it wasn't just becoming an insurance agent selling long-term care, because by background I'm a physical therapist. That's very important to me. But through the years of being here, I've completely evolved now, thanks to this organization, thanks to this platform, the community, the environment that I'm part of right now. So now, here, how many of you here got on the bandwagon of the 30-day relentless? Oh my goodness, I cannot even begin to tell you how much of a game changer this is for my team, right? So we all know about this default compre that coach launched, right? During convention, okay? So discipline, activities, focus, results, um, consistency, habits, out in the field every day was the mandate when we left G26, right? Very clear. That's why I love WSB convention, because after that, you actually have actionable goals, right? You're not just clapping, cheering for people and have no clue what to do next, right? But very straightforward mandate out in the field every day with the goal of actually building on being predictable, becoming GX. Okay. So I just want to give you examples what's happening out in my team. So the day after, 2 weeks ago, Wednesday, when coach announced that, 30-day relentless out in the field lab, you know, the very next morning, I posted something for my team, all group WhatsApp, right? Good morning. Today is the start of our 30-day relentless. Okay, who is with me, right? Who is fighting, who's ready to fight every day to change their lives, right? And I just hope and pray that my teammates will reply. That evening, Jolly was so excited, right? Look at all this, right? Start of this 30-day relentless from Mimi right away. She was the pioneer, right? Started writing, posting, okay? Putting all this on paper, taking pictures. And it could be like networking, lunch appointment, overview. Got 3 names at a wedding that she went to, right? Contacting. And because they were always trying to be out in the field, right? They even hosted a BPM from Texas, went all the way to South Dakota because she has a team there to actually get more appointments, do a BPM, and more follow-ups, because every day they're looking. And look at the times. 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. I mean, I could not credit it for success by myself. I know she works closely at Dallas Central with Dewey there, right? And also, there's no escape for her, okay? Because she's being monitored many different ways. So thank you for Dallas, that. Okay, then I have another teammate in Florida. He's pretty much brand new. He joined, got licensed pretty fast. But look at this, right? Drop by, stop by, went to a facility, called many people, one potential client, right? One potential result, following it to many people. This guy, every day now, Romer, has one appointment for me. And we're wrapping up his GXMD because of this 30-day relentless run, right? Even today, we brought in one new campaigner for him, okay? And of course, some of my teammates, like, Victor Salvador showed us that Google Sheet form, right? 30-day relentless, showing us all this, right? Went to Home Depot, PetSmart, right? No result, okay? Went to a refugee farmers market, got 3 phone numbers. This is from Christine in Iowa, right? Under Ladue. Follow up with invites, right? All these things. And you can see the time. Now I know for once that my team is, I'm not the only one working, right? They're all out there in the field, right? Fighting for their lives, fighting to build a higher PFS, fighting to have a better business here, right? Look at this, okay? So this is someone that just got on board a little bit later than most people, right? But again, it is working. It is the most fabulous thing that ever happened to my business here, since I started, right? To our team since I started. Because this is what I've always understood, right? At the beginning of the year, I shared this with Oakbrook, right? I was trying to figure out, well, 2025 was a good year for us, okay? So many accomplishments as that, but mostly it was still me, Mylene, right? It was me. I made the 250, I made, GX12. It was mostly me. Some of my teammates were still fighting, maybe GX10, me and Ladu, right? GX12. But what about the rest of my teammates, right? We do not bring them on board here just to become, so we can be collab your GX, right? Everybody here that we bring on board, I take it to heart that we have a responsibility, right? If you communicate with me, you need help, whether you're upline, downline, sideline, we will help. Because remember this early this year, Oakbrook, when I was the first trainer for the year. I told you, right? My goal right now is to teach people. Okay, as we're going out there, let's go back here 1 second, okay? This is our goal for everybody, right? We want 10 times of their income for proper protection. We want them to have zero debt. We want them to have 3 to 6 months of their emergency fund. We want them to have 20 times of their money for investment. But 10 years out in the field there, and some of you even longer, how many people have you actually met that they have the perfect financial foundation the day you met them? None, right? But after being here in World System Builder, many testimonials, many examples, some might have taken 3 years like Melissa, 2 years like Melissa, or some might have taken a long, quite few more years than that. But are we not seeing more people that are having this in our organization? But don't you all agree this is something that we all need? Yes. Answer yes, right? Yes. So therefore, that's why every single teammate that we have, this is our goal. We are building a new industry, and the way I understand it, it's an industry that we have a chance, we give chance for everybody to become wealthy, to give chance to everybody to build their financial foundation the right way, to give a chance to course correct all the mistakes that they have, right? Maybe not their own fault, but through our system, to our organization, to our platform, to our partners here in our finance industry, right? This is how we're going to be able to change this, okay? But of course, it's not going to happen overnight. And what I understood is that to go from not having to having, not knowing to knowing, right? What do? You have a learning space, right? That time frame, fill in the gap, okay? But along the way in this learning space, what do? How do you feel, right? Emotions, right? Up and down. One day you're happy, one day you're sad. What else? Frustrated. What else? As you're learning, you guys, as you're learning, what do you feel? What are the emotions that go through? Mad, frustrated, you're getting yelled at, your people are not coming, you're frustrated. But on top of those frustrations, there's also what? Joy, excitement, right? You're helping a family, you get to see them smile, their first sale, their first presentation, right? All those things, right? And this is really the path of from going to not having to having, is that learning space. But along the way, as you're learning, no matter how much it takes you, right? What is the one thing that you really need to build? Yourself and your resilience. Because the people that get defeated first are the people that never develop their resilience. Someone says no to them, they're crying for 5 days, right? Or a month, right? So they got charged back. You don't see them for 6 months, right? Because why? They never developed the emotional discipline and the resilience. That's why what I love about what Coach has introduced this time is that, that out in the field every day. Because as you're out in the field every day, you get to develop what? Your winning habits. The intangibles that Coach was talking about, right? Learning about contacting, prospecting, presentation, follow up. Are these all perfect at this first go? Probably not.